And the smell, wow, when the rain hits the ground and the fresh smell comes and you walk on it barefoot. The,
I have to respect the nature, so it's okay.
yeah. The psychologist of the house is always the elder person, the grandparent. So I used to love to come back end of the day and share my woes with my grandparents, and they are always happy to listen.
Mm.
So I do that a lot. And yoga is a part of my life. I do that every day.
Hmm.
So it helps me start my day off in a better way. So these two I follow. Everyone gets up in the morning and they have a to-do list. I need to do this. Hey, where are you in that list? You need to keep yourself in that list. Otherwise, it's going to get difficult for you. Because I take stress as a positive motivator to
Hmm.
move forward. Without stress, there's no learning. Um, we would just become stagnant. So use stress to improve yourself. I'm very happy with that because
Hmm.
they're not giving permission to themselves to heal.
Mm.
You need to give permission to yourself to heal. I think it's thanks to the practices that I follow. I don't have any other reactions on my body, but generally, the people who I've known, they have
Mhm.
back pain or neck pain. When stress is there, I realize that there is some kind of a change I need to do in my daily routine so that it becomes a positive motivator to move forward.
Two parts of the stress. The first part, it motivates you, and the second part, it signals you to change something in your life.
I meditate, I listen to the affirmations, which is in a healing frequency. So it
Hmm.
calms me down. I concentrate on my breathing. Yeah, it daily. I spend about 30 minutes for yoga
Hmm.
and at least 30 minutes for uh, spending my time in nature.
You have a daily routines like doing yoga, spending time in nature, grounding yourself, walking bare feet on the grass, which is kind of a stress prevention. You do it all the time, no matter what. And then you have this other thing which you do like on demand to bring the stress down, which would be the breath work, meditation, calming down. Is that right?
Hey, you deserve to take time off for yourself. Only then you'll be able to perform better. Otherwise, uh, they'll get burned out completely. They're burning both sides of the candle.
And sometimes even just listening. And yeah, completely agree. Coaches, therapies, and other support you could have online, offline, also is a really good support and benefit for people to manage their stress.
Biggest challenge in my life right now is finding enough time.
Mm. Before we
Yeah,
close,
another thing which I have a big challenge, sorry to interrupt, is internet connectivity. Share your awareness with others, connect with people. That's a really awesome thing to do. So that moment when you give up the power of,
mm,
I need to control myself, you get to learn a lot about yourself and trusting others.
awesome. And yeah, as we start the interview, I would love to start with you just introducing yourself. So, uh, just tell me about yourself, introduce the listeners, viewers, who you are, what's your name, where you're from, whatever comes to your mind, whatever you want to share. Yeah.
Hi, Tom. I am Naveena. I am from India. I work with YAHA Life. What we do with YAHA Life is we provide digital well-being solutions for everyone around the world. You work on stress and you would know the need for a resourceful aid which will go along with what you do with physical activity for the people who you're teaching, the leaders who need to take the brunt of day-to-day's work and still be able to lead others. So that's what we try to provide. We try to provide digital well-being solutions to and resourceful aids to therapists like you who can help their clients. That's one thing. And on LinkedIn, where you are my connection, you would have seen that I publish one video in the morning every day where I engage others and tag others. That's on humor, basically, a brain teaser. Why we have done that is to break the mindset of the people every day in the morning so that their day goes well. So to bring in a positive attitude changes your whole day.
Mm.
That's the reason we have done that. Apart from that, we have a lot of other videos on YAHA YouTube on affirmations, music therapy, employee engagement. We have our own international well-being store as well as an Indian well-being store, which all of you are free to check out as well. So that's a short introduction about me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Because the topic of the podcast is love your stress, and because you're already in well-being and wellness industry, I imagine this would be a pretty interesting conversation. So I love to always ask people, and sometimes I do it first things first, and sometimes I do it a bit later on. This time I want to start it with this question: how would you define stress in your own words? What is stress for you?
Stress for me is something which makes me want to, um, perform better and move forward. When stress is there, I realize that there is some kind of a change I need to do in my daily routine. That's why stress is coming. So I try to figure that out and just involve it in my daily routine so that it becomes a positive motivator to move forward.
Hmm. I love how you distinguish the two parts of the stress. The first part, it motivates you, and the second part, it signals you to change something in your life. How do you feel stress?
I feel stress. I get headache
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that when the lack of time to be able to do things, what I want to accomplish. Being a lady, from a woman's perspective, I say that even now it's important that we give more time to family and family's lifestyle as well as our work. So that's where we try to balance everything out. Um, and we have to choose our time very wisely. So it is more so probably in India, maybe, because I have a lot of Indian friends and they also share the same feeling. But these days, the family is very supportive and they're understanding, and with their help, they're able to do better things. So that's good.
Uh, let's continue on with the. Yeah, I like how you said that it's a first in a headache. You feel it as a headache, so that's one way of noticing the stress. I just wanted to clarify um, because how I like to see the stress is that it's like a bar or some like a level, and as it increases, at some point it's a bit too much. Do you feel the same,
Um, yeah, I guess
or you have
that's when
different?
I get a headache when
Mm,
it increases. The general amount of stress when it is there, I do feel it. Then we try to manage and still work things out. But then, what when it increases, I feel a headache, and then when I get a headache, I realize, okay, I need to do something about it, and I sit and meditate, or I do breathing
mm.
exercises at pranayama to calm me down and which will give me guidance on what I need to do next, what to give more priority basically at that point of time so that I feel better. I guess that's what I do.
Yeah, and actually, I like how you already said that. What are you doing? How are you managing your stress with pranayama, breathing? So which ones would be like the most efficient ways? How like out of these things you do, which would be the ones that work the best for you? or it's like depending on situation?
For me, I would say I actually sit, and when I do meditation, I listen to the music therapy that we have with us. I also listen to the positive affirmations
Mm-hmm.
to give me strength, to make me understand consciously as well as subconsciously that there is a definitely positive way forward, because it is a work in progress for everyone, in every walk of life. So we're always looking to learn and improve our knowledge and improve what we do on ourselves. So that's where I sit and I meditate. I listen to the affirmations, which is in a healing frequency. It
Mm-hmm.
calms me down. I concentrate on my breathing, and then when I become still and calm, then I'm able to perform better in
Mm.
all aspects of life in front of me.
So basically, if I understand correctly, the main tool for you to battle the stress is calming yourself down through breathing, meditation, sitting down, and just calming both mind and body, right?
Yes,
And because I already asked you to fill up the survey, and I know that you also do some other physical activities. And my question to you is, do you consider other physical activities also as a remedy for stress, or they just
for sure. I consider other physical activities as a remedy for stress. But rather than using the physical activity at the time when I'm stressed, I do it as a part of my daily routine.
mm,
I do yoga and I also go out for nature walks. And while going for nature walks, you might be well aware of something called as grounding, I
yeah,
think. Walking barefoot on grass or fresh earth where
mm,
it is rained. It's a beauty, and the smell. Wow, when the rain hits the ground and the fresh smell comes, and you walk on it barefoot, the positive energy which you receive from the earth inside yourself is so good. That uh, effect you won't get anywhere from anything.
mm,
So I do that a lot. And yoga is a part of my life. I do that every day.
mhm.
So it helps me start my day off in a better way. So these two I follow.
How much time you spend for practicing yoga and spending time in nature daily, or it's daily, right?
Yeah, it's daily. I spend about 30 minutes for yoga
Mhm.
and at least 30 minutes for uh, spending my time in nature.
So, if I understand you correctly, to bring these things together, you have a daily routines like doing yoga, spending time in nature, grounding yourself, walking bare feet on the grass, which is kind of a stress prevention. You do it all the time, no matter what. And then you have this other thing, which you do like on demand to bring the stress down, which would be the breath work, meditation, calming down. Is that right?
Yes, so the morning routine is for yoga and
Mm-hmm.
listening to affirmations and
Mm-hmm.
meditation. And then walking barefoot on the ground, it varies between morning to evening, sometimes night, whenever I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't have a specific time if I feel like it, just because I'm so thankful that I stay in a place that which is surrounded by fresh earth
Mm,
and green trees.
that's
So
awesome.
just by staring out of my window, I can see green trees all around. You know.
Mm,
And just by walking out of our gate, I can put my feet on bare ground, which is clean, which is a necessity in India. I would add. In many places, we can't do that, but we are lucky to stay in a place that which is clean and
mm.
tidy. So I'm able to walk barefoot on the ground. So that's how it goes. It's awesome.
And taking this all into account, that you do these morning routines and all these other ways of dealing with your stress. how would you rate your average stress levels from day to day? From
I
one being, wait, yeah. Oh, what happened?
I'm so sorry. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the bugs are coming in. That's why my husband came in and turned off the light.
Oh, you can keep the camera off. It's okay.
That all right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry. I just told you we are
No worries.
surrounded by
Yeah,
nature, right? So
I have to respect the nature, so it's okay.
yeah.
So you can keep the camera off if you want.
Yes. Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, then let's continue. The next question I wanted to ask you is, yeah, how would you rate your average stress levels during the day? With one being completely relaxed and five being overstressed.
3.
Three. And how satisfied are you with these levels?
I'm pretty satisfied, I would say, because without any uh, if because I take stress as a positive motivator to
Mhm.
move forward. Without stress, there's no learning. We would just become stagnant. So use stress to improve yourself. I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, that's good to hear because sometimes people um, have a pretty good stress management, but they don't feel satisfied with it, and that brings more stress into it. However, in your case, um, if you're not too stressed and already happy with what you have, that doesn't, at least it doesn't bring any additional stress. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
And yeah, because you said that you one of the symptoms how you recognize stress being too much is headaches. Is there any other symptoms how you recognize that you're a bit too much stressed?
Um, Not specifically, no. Uh, I think it's thanks to the practices that I follow. I don't have any other reactions on my body, but generally, the people who I've known, they have
Mhm.
back pain or neck pain,
Yeah,
um, which is related very much to stress as well.
yeah.
And of course, if you're doing wrong kind of physical work without having a proper balance in your body, or
Hmm.
then you have body pain like hip pain,
Hmm.
hand pain. So, and these days there's so much work on the computer or on the phone that people are having a lot of wrist pain, and fingers also start aching, and they have arthritis and
Mm.
all these other issues. So people have to learn to be careful. Technology is very good. You can use technology for your benefit, or you can also use it. Sometimes it does turn against you, unfortunately. But it's all in your hands. Nobody's forcing you to do anything you don't want. I mean, it's how you see it is your perspective. What do you give priority to in your life? That's something you need to really decide, I feel.
So you just touched upon the subject of how would you recognize too much stress in your physical body. How about the emotional side? Is there like any emotional symptoms that signal stress for you?
Emotionally, when I'm having a headache, yes, I do feel frustrated, and
Mm.
that's when I'm frustrated with myself. So frustration equals anger. So when I start feeling angry with myself, it's like a red alert signal for me. So I need to start breathing first.
Mm.
Calm down, breathe 1 to 5, keep on breathing 1 to 5, 10 to 15 times, and then see what needs to be done. If I can find a couple of minutes for just moving away from work and sitting alone for a couple of minutes, or what else I need to do um,
And how easy it
to
is to find this time for you to just take a break from the work and take this stress management? Generally.
Um, it's not very difficult for me per se because I work from home.
Mm,
So I just need to decide to put work aside, the work I have at home for what I'm doing for my family or the work I'm doing for YAHA. I need to decide to put it aside and
mm.
take a break, even if it's for a couple of minutes. Only then I can concentrate to do better work. So I do that. It's not a difficult thing for me. I guess when it becomes a difficult thing, is when it really starts bothering people because
Mhm.
they're not giving permission to themselves to heal.
Mm,
You need to give permission to yourself to heal. And that's where we need life coaches like
yeah.
you know. Mm, You guys are the ones who go out and say, hey, you deserve to take time off for yourself. Only then you'll be able to perform better. Otherwise, uh, they'll get burned out completely. They're burning both sides of the candle, taking care of things at home, taking care of things at work, physically stressing themselves is not going to get them anywhere. So people start better listening to you.
And do you have any idea why people find it so difficult to take care of themselves and take this time off?
Well, I feel that uh, they they feel bad to give time off to themselves. They feel they don't deserve it because they don't keep themselves as their priority also in their big list of to do's and not to do's. You know, everyone gets up in the morning and they have a to do list. I need to do this. Hey, where are you in that list? You need to keep yourself in that list. Otherwise, it's going to get difficult for you. That's something people have to realize.
So, is it always been like that for you that you've been able to deal with the stress and uh, feel, I would say, motivated to release the excess stress? Or in the past, you had a different experience?
Of course, in the past, I've had different experience. Before I started working with YAHA, I never knew all this, and I used to be just like any other normal person who used to feel stressed, not being able to take care of things, not uh, being able to complete my work on time. But after starting to work with YAHA, and because we deal with well-being solutions, I'm working one-on-one with people and the products that we have, listening to the music therapy and affirmations, and doing a lot of mindful practices and yoga. It has helped me a lot. It's been a slow learning experience, but it's been a very good journey. So, and it's been really helpful. That's what has helped me, I would say.
And if you had to guess or pinpoint, was there like anything specific that pushed you over, or it was just in general starting to work in a wellness industry? So, what was the? My question would be like, can you find something specific that changed either in your environment or in yourself that made this switch? I would say.
To work in the wellness industry, you mean?
No, I mean compared to you, where you're now, and to your past self, where you were not able to find this time to release the stress. Was there anything like that comes to your mind specifically that made the switch as you entered into the wellness industry? Like, because I imagine not everyone will be able to um, quit their daily jobs and go work in a wellness industry. So if that's not an option for them, uh, maybe there's some other thing they could do to embark on a similar journey as you did. So that's why my question is: was there anything specific you could pinpoint? Does it
Yeah,
make sense?
for me, I would say that. I'm really lucky that this chance of working with Yaha Life and digital wellbeing solutions actually was offered to me
Mm,
when I was looking for a career change per
mm,
se. But before that, I would say if I had a problem, then what could have helped me is right now, yes, there is a very good thing about Google and LinkedIn having life coaches like you, but it
mhm,
wasn't like that before. So I used to get stressed or frustrated, and in India, there is an advantage of having elders around you in your family. My parents and my grandparents, we all stay together, so in a joint family, whether you're working in the house or going out and coming back, uh, the psychologist of the house is always the elder person, the grandparent. So I used to love to come back end of the day and share my woes with my grandparents, and they are always happy to listen. Sometimes they do understand the background of what's going on, but more than them understanding the background, they understand my emotions.
mm,
So when I pour out all what I felt to them after 15 minutes, when they listen, I feel calm and relaxed and say, "Hey, thank you for listening. I actually didn't need a solution. I just wanted you to listen to me." So that's how it used to work. Thanks to Indian culture that my grandparents were with me and they really helped me through.
yeah, the support from the family and friends or just other people, I also agree. It's really, really important. Just holding that space and just being there for you, and sometimes even just listening. And yeah, completely agree. Coaches, therapies, and other support you could have online, offline, also is a really good support and benefit for people to manage their stress.
Thank you.
And yeah, because how I like to consider stress management and just bringing awareness to the stress is starting always with the body. And we've been talking about the body as already quite a while already. And one part is exercise. We already covered that one. But there are two other major pieces I would love to uh, point out here. So one of them is sleep. So just out of curiosity, how long is your average sleep?
7 hours maximum.
7 hours. And do you feel it's enough for you? Do you feel rested after waking up?
Yes, for sure. That's more than enough.
Mm. And how about nutrition? How satisfied are you with your nutrition?
I would say 3 out of 5, because we do consume vegetables in our diet. I'm a vegetarian, and vegetables, milk, and cereals and grains
Mhm.
make our diet. So nutrition is good, not super, or
Not? Can I ask?
not, no junk food. It's not super, meaning I'm not into salads whole day,
Mm.
but I'm not into junk food either. So it's a good balance.
So what would be the, because sometimes in coaching we ask these difficult questions. Now you rated yourself to the 3 out of 5. What would need to happen, or what would be the changes necessary to get it to the 5?
Um, well, for me, personally speaking, it would be difficult because I live in a joint family,
Mm-hmm.
and diet has to follow the food habits of everybody in the family. I can't
Mm.
have a specific diet for myself. But if I were to stay alone and if I was able to choose what I eat, then I would choose more green leafy vegetables and smoothies or fruits to be added to my diet rather than other food like cereals and greens, which the quantity is generally more when you're living in an Indian family.
So it's more of a leafy greens and more fruits that you would love to have in your diet.
Yeah.
And another question I would love to ask you is how would you rate your knowledge of the stress in general?
My knowledge of stress in general, it's a work in progress.
Hmm. That's a good answer. That's the best answer
Yeah,
anyone can have.
thank you.
And sometimes also people have pretty good knowledge about problems. However, not always common knowledge is a common practice. How is it for you for the stress? How would you rate your application of this knowledge to the stress management from 1 to 5 again?
Well, I try to apply whatever I learn, and I guess that's why I'm able to manage the stress levels in my day-to-day life now. And I try to learn more from others as well on the way. So if I do like some kind of a specific activity or something that I can do or practice or include in my life, I would definitely give it a try and add it. I guess that's how I see it.
Mm. Yeah, it's a good attitude actually, and I would if I had to label it from the other authors and the influences I have, I would call it growth mindset. Have you heard about it?
Growth mindset. Yes, I've heard about growth mindsets.
So would you label yourself in this area of life as oriented towards more growth mindset?
Mm, I would say yes.
What is your opinion and what comes to your mind when I say my statement for this podcast? Love your stress.
Love your stress. That's a very good statement. Because only when you love your stress will you want to do something to improve yourself. And without stress, there is no growth. There is
Mm.
no positive mindset towards growth. So that's a very good topic, and I feel the knowledge that you're imparting should reach everyone in the right way.
Do you have any tips for me for bringing this knowledge to the more people out there? Like, yeah, any tips for how people could learn love their stress?
I think you're already doing an awesome job connecting with people, putting yourself out there, letting people know what you do, um, being consistent in your work and connecting with people. That's the only way forward. Because when you create awareness, then people will come to know, and when they come to know, they'll reach out for help to you. And when they reach out for help to you because they are in a growth mindset, you help them, and you grow and they grow too. So, what else can be better than that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I completely agree with yeah, awareness is the first step. And that's where my focus is. And that's why I have these interviews here. So people get
Yeah.
to know more about stress, they can reflect on themselves and hopefully learn something new as well. And to starting to finish this interview, I would love to ask you, what's your biggest challenge right now in your life?
Biggest challenge in my life right now is finding enough time.
Mm, yeah, that's something that we all struggle, right?
Yeah.
And before we
Yeah,
close the
another
interview,
thing which I have a big challenge, sorry to interrupt, is internet connectivity.
you have something else?
Internet connectivity.
Ah, yeah, technology. You were telling that before that the technology could be your biggest friend and it could also um, short circuit us as well. So, yeah, technology
Yeah.
can be a blessing and a curse.
Yes.
And yeah, before we finish this interview up, is there anyone you would love to recommend for me to reach out for a next interview? Like someone shout out, or who would either share a really knowledgeable would be knowledgeable in this field and would share something valuable with the audience, or they would benefit from self-reflection you probably get through these interviews. Is there anyone in your mind?
For stress specifically, uh, you can reach out with all of my connections. Who would be willing to talk to you specifically on
Yeah,
stress? There
excellent.
is a very nice friend of mine, one Mr. Nakul Rajput. He works with Nook Designs,
Hmm.
NUK Nook Designs. You can reach out to him and see how open he is to have a discussion with you.
What was his name again?
Nakul Rajput.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have my next interviewee, so my next guest, if he agrees. And the last question I would love to ask you, um, what's your one takeaway from this conversation?
My takeaway from this conversation would be the initial wonderful questionnaire you shared with me. I liked all the questions you had put there, very innovative. And I like the fact that you've taken this initiative to have podcast and share your awareness with others, connect with people. That's a really awesome thing to do. And also the fact that you're really open to learning, and you're also part of YAHA. You share YAHA's well-being products to everybody. I mean, that's a great package there all together.
Okay, thank you very much, Naveena, for taking part of this interview. I wish you a good night because I already know it's quite late there. And again, thank you very much. As I sometimes like to chant my mantra, smile, and be present. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.